What's up guys, Rampage here again, bringing you today's question of the day. So for today's question, I'm going to be asking you guys, what was your favorite childhood cartoon? Now for me, I grew up watching cartoons a lot, I really loved them, but I'd have to say that my favorite childhood cartoon would be Tom and Jerry. That show is just awesome, I loved it, and I still do. Real good show, so yeah, leave your answers in the comments below, and let's get started with the battle. How's it going everyone, and Happy New Year's. I hope you all are enjoying your holidays. This is Rampage here, and I'm bringing you my first battle of the new year, 2013, and I decided what better type of battle to bring you guys than the UU battle, my favorite tier. So I had this UU battle against someone who goes by the name of b2j135, I think, something like that I found off the smogon Wi-Fi Battle Finder. So without further ado, let's get started with this battle. I'm going to lead off with my Raikou, and my opponent's going to lead off with a Crobat. I figured Raikou would be the best lead because everything on his team gets hit by an electric type attack, so if push comes to shove, I can just Volt Switch if I don't like the matchup. But I am just going to Volt Switch even though he led with his Crobat, because I wasn't sure if that was his Crobat or not, or his Zoroark. Didn't really matter, I just wanted to go for the Volt Switch. And he's actually going to go out into a Shaman, as I Volt Switch out into my Porygon too. I'm just going to go for the Ice Beam. He predicts this, so he's going to go out into his Rotom, which can take the Ice Beam pretty easily, but now he's going to switch back out into his Shaman, which I found kind of weird because that that Rotom could pretty much kind of wall Porygon, not really, but it would appreciate the attacks more than Shaman would. But anyway, I'm just going to go for the Ice Beam now after he goes for the Seed Flare, and yeah, I'm going to be able to take out the Shaman, so that's good and all. And he's actually going to but he's going to bring back out his Rotom. And I'm going to go onto my Swampert now because I figured this would be the perfect chance to set up my Stealth Rocks. But to my surprise, this Swampert actually does not have Stealth Rocks. This is the wrong Swampert. And that kind of upset me because now I won't be able to set up Stealth Rocks this game, which would have been really beneficial because he has the Rotom and this Crobat, and he also has the Zoroark that could have benefited as well. But anyway, he's out with this Blastoise. I don't want to take a Toxic, so I'm just going to go out into my Raikou. Raikou would prefer the Toxic more than my Swampert would, and I'm actually just going to go for Volt Switch. Unfortunately for him, he does miss his Toxic, so that's kind of good for me, bad for him, but you know what, I don't really care, because I don't like being toxic anyway. So I think Toxic is coming again, so I'm just going to go out into my Mew, because my Mew does have Heal Bell, and it also has Synchronize, so I could just synchronize the Toxic over to the Blastoise, which is nice, and then I can just go for a Heal Bell later to get rid of this annoying poison. So he's actually going to switch out now. He's going to go out into his Crobat, which is weird. I wonder why you would go out into your Crobat on a Mew. So I was actually thinking that this was his Zoroark because you wouldn't bring in a poison type on the psychic type. So I'm actually going to switch out into my Swampert thinking that that was his Zoroark, but he actually goes for Super Fang, so this is indeed his Crobat. So there's that, and the Super Fang is going to do half, of course, because that's what it does. Now he's going to go for the Taunt, but unfortunately for me I don't have Stealth Rock, so I'm just going to go for the Ice Beam, and that's going to do a nice chunk to this Crobat. I'm liking that damage. So now I'm predicting him to go for the Roost, so I'm actually just going to go for Earthquake. But he he actually goes for Brave Bird. So yeah, that kind of failed. I didn't get to hit him with an Earthquake. But I'm just going to keep going for Earthquake because he'll probably Roost eventually, and if he doesn't, then the Brave Bird recoil will rack up and I'll just leave my Swampert in his fodder. But he does go for Roost now, which is great because I'm able to hit him with an Earthquake, and that's going to do a lot of damage to this thing. And like I said, I'm just going to keep Earthquaking because it's kind of mind games right here. He could Roost or he could just Brave Bird like he just did. Doesn't matter to me because he's just going to keep taking Brave Bird recoil. So I'm just going to keep Earthquaking until my Swampert dies. And that's pretty much my plan right here. He's actually just going to go for the Brave Bird again. He's going to take out my Swampert. And yeah. So that's that. Hurry up so I can go to my next Pokemon. Okay, so I'm going to go out into my Raikou now. And I'm just going to go for the Volt Switch. He doesn't know that I'm Scarf yet, and he actually finds out right here because I'm able to outspeed his Crobat, take him out with the Volt Switch, and then go out into another Pokemon accordingly, which happens to be my Porygon too, as he's going to bring out his Rotom, or I thought it was his Rotom. Well, not really, because I think his Rotom had a little bit of HP taken away from him, so I kind of thought that this might be his Zoroark. but it doesn't really matter too much. I'm going to go for the recover. Unfortunately for me, he goes for the trick, so I'm without my Eviolite anymore, but he does leave me a choice specs, which isn't too bad because I do have good special attack. Running out of breath. But anyway, now I'm going to go out into my Raikou, thinking Raikou should be able to take at least one hit, and then I can just hit this thing with an Aura Sphere. But he does miss his Focus Blast, unfortunately for him, and I'm just going to be able to take him out with an Aura Sphere. So, yeah, that's nice. Now, he's going to bring out his Rotom. I don't want to take a hit with my Raikou, so I'm going to go out into my Porygon to take the hit, as he's just going to go for Volt Switch. It's not going to do too much to me, and that's without my Eviolite, so that's pretty good. He's going to Volt Switch out into his Mienshao. I was pretty sure he was going to go for the U-turn, but I wanted to go out in the Mew anyway, just because the risk of the high jump kick on my Porygon was too great. But in fact, he is going to go for the high jump kick as I bring out my Mew, so that's nice. And from that damage, I'm kind of suspecting his Mienshao to be scarfed, so I just got to watch out for that, I guess. I'm just going to go for the Thunder Wave on the switch, and I do catch his Rotom on the switch, so that's nice. I'm just going to go for some Psychics now. I just want to get some damage off on this thing. And he's actually going to Thunder Wave me back, so yeah, that's whatever. I do have Hill Bell, so I'm not worried about the paralysis at all. And yeah, that's pretty much all that's happening here. I'm just going to go for another Psychic. Like I said, I just want to get damage off on this thing. He's going to go for the Overheat. This is a specially defensive Mew, and I can tell that this Rotom is defensive as well, so the Overheat's not going to do too much to my Mew. And I believe now I'm just going to go for the Hill Bell. Yeah, just go for the Hill Bell just so I can be rid of the paralysis, as he's going to Volt Switch. That's not going to do anything to my Mew because he's at -2 special attack. And he's going to Volt Switch out into his Mienshao. Now I'm pretty sure he will go for the U-turn, but I know I can take it because this is a bulky Mew. And I am able to take that pretty nicely, and yeah, that damage kind of is scarf damage. I'm almost certain. Anyway, I'm just going to go for the Psychic as he goes out into his Blastoise, and I'm not able to take out the Blastoise, and I don't think the Poison will either after lefties, but I do outspeed the Blastoise, so I can just take it out next turn, and that's indeed what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go for the Psychic, take out the Blastoise, and yeah, that's a dead Blastoise. Now he only has Rotom and this Mienshao left, I think. He's just going to go for the U-turn to take out my Mew. I just left my Mew in his Death Bother because I don't really need it anymore. And I knew the U-turn was coming, so I would be able to have initiative because he'll bring out his Rotom, and then I can just go out into either Heracross or Meloetta. It's unfortunate I didn't get to use Meloetta this game. I probably could have used it right here, but I decided to be safe, go out in the Heracross, go for the safe close combat, take out the Rotom. And yeah, so now all he has left is this Mienshao that I'm thinking is scarfed, and I thought the Aerial Ace would come my way, but he's actually going to go for the high jump kick, which is fine by me because now I'm able to just go for the close combat and take out this Mienshao. And had he had Aerial Ace, then I would have just went out in the Raikou and finished it off with the Thunderbolt. But anyway, that's the game. It was a pretty fun game. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you all have a good New Year's or are having a good New Year's and some great holidays and whatnot. And yeah. So, yeah, I'll see you guys in the near future. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Rampage here, signing out. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you later. Peace.